Hey, what's up guys? Douglas Bourgeois bringing you a deck profile on one of the most popular decks in the meta right now, Inzektors. A lot of people think Inzektors are pretty easy to push around because it's so easy to stop. Because there's so many sides for them, you know, Shadows, Skeletons, etc., etc., a lot of main deck cards. And a lot of the deck archetypes, such as Chaos Dragons, also shut them down horribly bad. I'm here to try to show you a deck profile for it and give some suggestions on what you can do in order to modify it. So maybe you can stand up those decks such as Chaos Dragons and Dino Rabbit a little bit more solidly without running into problems too often. The main deck is a pretty standard deck. The side deck has quite a few twists in it. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't. And as we're going to review the deck profile right now, I'm not really going to waste time on cards that you should know of. I will go in after this video, or after the deck profile, I'm sorry, and go through and just kind of answer a few questions that I get asked a lot at my locals and that I've been asked at my regionals. And sorry. Yeah, anyways, it's like 4 or 5 questions I'm going to answer at the end of the video that I get asked all the time at locals and regionals. I'm going to jump into it right now. You'll pretty much notice that most of it's the skeleton build. Most people will play it anyways like this. Triple Dragonfly. You need to draw it in order to OTK. Triple Centipede. Again, another staple card. Triple Hornet. Staple. And required for this meta, in my opinion, would be Triple Effect Veiler, because it puts a halt to a lot of the cards. I don't run tool guides in this build. I believe it to actually be a little bit slower than this build as it is. Anyways, I'm going to keep on going. Double Hopper. This is a derivative of the Hopper build. It's not built fully from it, but it does have the basis for it. I run double Ladybug. Yeah, I found that being able to go into 5 is a very great option, considering the rank 5s that there are right now, Tyrius, Adrius, and then you can also go into Gaia Dragon. 1 Giga-Mantis, and I'll explain why I only run 1 form of the Giga cards at the end of the video. 1 Tragoedia. I don't run Gores instead of run Tragoedia because Gores is a card that you have to be losing before you can actually use it. And then 1 BLS because you run the Triple Veiler, and cards in your side deck also help bring it out, cards in your extra deck bring it out as well. So it's just a really great card to get into, and it's not a dead draw too often. That concludes the monster lineup, and we're going to go through the spell lineup. Again, most is pretty simple and staple for an Inzektor deck. Triple Sword. It's required for the OTK. You need 2 at least. I run 3 just to help draw into the hand opening. Triple Duality. This is there for consistency purposes because this build isn't known to be able to OTK right off the bat. And really with Pot of Duality, all it means is I can't OTK you this turn. Next turn, go for it. But this turn, just build defensive. Lay down cards to defend yourself. Don't overextend. And the next is just a bunch of one-up cards, Allure of Darkness, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Foolish Burial, Heavy Storm, and Monster Reborn. The staple cards for most decks. Yes, I do main deck 1 Allure. I'm not really too scared of mirror matches. I feel pretty confident in mirror matches, actually. Going into the trap cards, double Fiendish. It puts in a lot of work in regionals and stuff with Dino Rabbits. In case you don't have a Veiler, you still have something that can stop them, and it helps you survive against decks that can OTK without destroying the back row, such as Chaos Dragons. The Solemn Brigade, Double Warning, Judgment, 1 Torrential Tribute, and 1 Mirror Force. The total card count comes out to be, I want to say, 41. But with the ability to draw as much as you can with this deck, it really doesn't matter too much with the extra 1 card. You can still OTK really easily. I'm going to go on and go through the extra deck now. It's a pretty standard extra deck for Inzektors that run Ladybug. I'm going to go on for that right now. Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because you have Cyber Dragon in your side deck, it helps you get over Zen mains if you don't want to waste your Hornet effects. Darkened Dragon, because Gores with Baylor, Stardust, same reason as Darkened. One Adrius, one Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. I use this a lot in not mirror matches, surprisingly, but fighting Chaos Dragons. They go into Photon Strike Balancer, and I Mind Control, and then overlay Gaia Dragon to get rid of the Balancer so that I can start OTK. I run double Extra Stag. He puts in a lot of work, especially against Chaos Dragons. Get their RADMD or Light Pulsar to stop the loop. You can get the JD for big attack. One Leviair, one Mesorythm, the String Gaijin. It helps you survive against Dolka and stuff, because since it activates during the damage step, he can't negate it. Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja, double Leviathan required for the OTK, Giga-Berate required for the OTK, Acid Golem, and one Tyrius. I mean, as I said, it's a pretty staple lineup for decks that run Ladybug. It's always worked for me. It's a really solid extra deck. It's able to address plenty of situations that you might run into. Going into the side deck, there's one Cyber Dragon used for mainly Karakuris and such. I do double DD Crow. It's a great card if you want to stop Chaos Dragons. It helps against mirror matches. It's a really viable side. Like, I side it quite often, actually. Double Electric Virus. It completely wrecks Chaos Dragons. It terrifies Dino Rabbits. It's a great side, and it's a light, so you can use BLS with it as well. I do triple Snowman Eater, because I run into dragons a lot over my locals and regionals. So it helps to stop the Light Pulsar loop. I mean, I'm sorry, not the Light Pulsar loop. I don't know why. Like, I use it against Chaos Dragons, and it really works. It gives it a nice stun aspect, I guess. And then what it really works against is Dino Rabbit. Although I've only seen like 4 or 5 of those total. It does a lot of work when you actually see it. Here's the main MVP of the day, in my opinion. Armor Blast. Because there's so many sides against Inzektors, Skill Drain, Skill Drain, Shadow Imprisonment, etc., etc. Armor Blast really helps to counteract that. And you can do like Dragonfly equipped with Giga-Mantis, and then Armor Blast, destroy your Giga-Mantis. Destroy their 2 cards, and then Giga-Mantis effect activates, Dragonfly's effect activates, and you still get both the effects because the resolution would resolve. This would resolve first, blowing them up. So it's a really nice little card to side in. I side it in almost any time I play, going into Game 2s and Game 3s, because it's just such a great card. Double D Fissure, I don't run triple. I'm not really too sure why I don't run triple. I just don't. I've had it where it actually stops my deck down as well. So I normally don't main deck, or I don't side deck 3, I side deck 2. And I draw it often enough when I need it. So it's, don't run 3 if you can help it. I mean, if you really don't want to run like triple Snowman or something, I guess you can run a 3rd one. I like 2. Mind Control, because I don't main deck it, but normally come into Game 2 and Game 3, I always side it in. Really depending on what I'm fighting. Like Chaos Dragons is definitely going in. Dino Rabbit, it goes in. I normally don't do it against heroes, but mirror matches, it goes in all the time. And then Double Prohibition. This is one of those sides that almost always comes in Game 2 and Game 3. because it's just such a versatile card, and it also explains why I don't run the Gores. Why I run Trag instead, because you can have Prohibition on the field and use your Trag. A few questions that I get asked. One of the number one questions is, why do I run Tragoedia instead of Gores? Because I run cards like Prohibition, and I run so many trap cards in it, plus the triple Misties, and come game 2 and game 3. I have, my other side cards as well, D-Fissures, Snowman Eaters, and how I see Gores is, I'm gonna die this turn no matter what, so I just want to delay the inevitable. I mean, yeah, I've heard things about how Gores turns the tide of the games and all this other stuff. Gores is a great card, don't get me wrong. I just prefer Tragoedia over Gores. It's personal opinion. If you want to run Gores over Trag, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. Just do remember Trag's other effect besides special summoning when you take damage. You'll like it. Another question is, why do I only run one Mantis? I don't like running two Mantis, and I normally don't like running one Mantis, one Weevil, for the simple fact that this isn't a specific, always going to OTK deck. I mean, it fully has that possibility. I can OTK normally once per match. This is a highly controlling deck, right? This build for it is highly controlling, and it's made to control what your opponent can do. Which is why I only run one Mantis. It's not made to OTK all the time. It's made to just, the OTK gives it that flair. The next question is, why do I run triple duality? As I said earlier in the video, how I see duality is it's not one of those, oh, well, I can't special summon so I'm screwed cards. It's more of the, I can't special summon this turn, so you get to live one more turn. It allows you to pull a bunch of cards that you might need, like, say you have Dragonfly and Zektkaliber with no Hornet, and you duality into a Hornet. Well, don't play your Dragonfly. You can set your Hornet and wait it out, and then next turn go for the OTK. Or, you could just take whatever damage they give you and hope you don't die. I mean, both of them, it's one of those things, so you just need to think what's best at the time. But triple duality, in my opinion, does not slow this deck down. Another question, and the final question that I can really think of off the top of my head, is why do I run Armor Blast? When that card first came out, everybody was saying over and over that it was so bad. Well, initially I thought the same thing, and then I realized the potential. You can use Armor Blast and you still get the effect of Dragonfly, Centipede, whatever. And if you're going to pop, Skill Drain or Shadow Prisoning Mirror, you still get the effects of whatever monster you popped, and the monster is equipped to as well. In the case of Giga-Mantis, then you get the effect of him. Let me rephrase that so it sounds correct. And the fact that it's any Inzektor cards, you can also do it with a Zektkaliber as well. Because it's Inzektor's sword, Zektkaliber, so it includes Inzektor in its name itself. So thus for it's a viable target for the Armor Blast target. Fun little fact, and really nice to know. That allows you to still OTK even without Hornets, although it will be substantially slower. Something I actually recommend is doing, if you don't have a Hornet, then whenever you get your double summon from Dragonfly, then you turn around and you get Centipede Mantis, because you don't need double Centipede in order to OTK. You need, at least one Centipede in order to get your search. The other Centipede's just flair, really. I mean, like, in my personal opinion, it is. I've OTK'd without double Centipede on Dragonfly. Anyways, I'm getting off point. Armor Blast gets over cards that you really need to get over, such as the big beaters. If you don't want to bring out Acid Golem and have to worry about, oh, well, I hope I can get a Centipede, Dragonfly, or Hornet or something. you can just armor blast whatever your problem is, say skill drain or shadow imprisoning, or you're fighting Dark World, you can go to the Dark Smog. Armor blast is just a really viable side card, and I always recommend siding it. I mean, no more than 2. 2 is pushing it, in my opinion. I do too, because I just really like the card. Nobody expects it. Anyways, that's it for the deck profile. That's the comments that I have to say about, answer the questions that I get. Any other questions you have, you can leave me a comment or ask it below, and I'll answer it as soon as I can. Can't really make any promises, but I'll answer it as soon as I can. And if you want to critique my build, go for it. Suggestions, whatever, they're all welcome. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Share it around if you enjoyed it enough. I mean, I really don't care. Just, don't try to troll me or anything, because I'm just going to ignore you. I find it funny when people troll. I do it all the time. Oh, man, I'm going second. Anyways, good luck with your decks. Have fun in the games, and hopefully you can win some regionals or something. Take it easy.